you know, it's me that has to do it all. Yeah. I'm still a control freak. Recovering control freak. My voice is off. It's like, it feels weird. It's like, I'm not, no.
You sound okay. You sound all right to me.
Okay, good. Because for me, I sound like I have my throat is hoarse, like I'm getting a cold or something.
I can hear it now that you mentioned it. I can hear it a little bit, just a tad, not too much.
I'm like, no. Okay, see what I did wrong there? That was not supposed to go there. Why did I put that there? I don't know. 1 second, folks. We're going to get started in just a minute. You know, when you start to change stuff around, and it's like, why did I do that? I don't know. Okay, it's all good. That was weird that I did that. It's all good. All right, I'm going to hit record here. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Laura Canfield Show, the Awakening to Happiness Now Global Series. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And it is my deepest desire and wish and intention to share with you these wonderful speakers, guests who are sharing their wisdom, their teachings, their experiences, their gifts, their processes, their activations and meditations, etc., so that we can all thrive, so that we can all move into greater alignment with who we are and have more joy and happiness in our lives. So please do subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't yet, so that you can continue to watch all the live shows and all the previous recorded shows as well. And so today, my dear friend Roshney Mistry is here. So she's a first-time guest on the show today, probably not last time, but definitely first time. And I'm so excited that she's here, and she's going to be talking about healing relationships. And so some of what we're going to discuss today is the importance of the relationship you have with yourself. We're going to talk about what is your vibrational frequency, law of attraction. We're going to talk about forgiveness. Forgiveness and gratitude are key. How can the Akashic records help you heal, and how cutting the cords can help heal relationships. All that and more. We're going to be taking live caller questions, and Roshney will be doing a live meditation with the golden tree, which will help you feel more grounded and shielded, and you'll be able to connect with your guides and ask, what do I need to heal or know about a certain relationship? So all that's coming up. And for those of you who may not know Roshney, I'll just tell you a little bit about her. Like I said, it's first time here, but we've known each other for a long time. She's been a regular, not a guest, but a participant, right? Watching and listening to the shows. and client, yes, absolutely, for a long time. So Roshney is a spiritual energy coach whose name means light. She's trained in LLP, Rahanni Celestial Healing, Counselling, and Akashic Records Healing. She has been working in corporate government for the last 34 years. She just retired, and working in a stressful environment has taught her many skills, especially on how to heal relationships. She learned through her experiences that when your soul is not living its true purpose or mission, then the body will show you signs on a physical and mental level. Roshney uses powerful inner child healing and cord cutting modalities to help others to remove emotional blocks to relationships, career, and good health. She runs spiritual workshops every 2 weeks via Zoom, which are open to everyone and anyone. Whether you are just new to spirituality or very experienced, she shares tips and tools on how to heal yourself. The workshops include powerful guided meditations, and Roshney is sharing her light with you so that you can shine your light too. So I'm so excited that Roshney is here with us. Please join me in welcoming her to the show. Roshney, welcome.
Thank you.
So, I mean, I know you really well, but, others may not. So because it's your first time on the show as a guest, can you just share a little bit about your journey and how you became a healer and doing this healing work that you're doing?
Oh gosh, where shall I start? Right, again, how long have you got? I know you said an hour and a half, so I might have to cut this short. My mum passed away when I was 24 years old, and that was in 1996. And it was a bit of a shock to me, because you always think that your parents are going to be around forever. And being the youngest of the family, it did kind of hit me hard. I could have gone two ways. I could have gone really into the sense of like hating God and saying to God, why did you take my mum away? How could you do this to me? And I nearly did. Or what I did actually do is go on the spiritual side and start seeking religion. So I started finding more about my own religion, which is Hinduism. So I went more into that, and because my mom was quite into religion and she was quite spiritual as well. And then further down the line, I think it was around 2008, 2009, a close family member was diagnosed with cancer, and I'd never known anyone to have cancer in the family. So it was a big shock to my system. My dear brother, one of my brothers, sent me the book, The Secret, The Law of Attraction. And that book just changed my life, about how I dealt with, this illness that a member of family had, and how I dealt with life, how I dealt with everything. So this book absolutely changed my life on how I perceived things. So I'm not selling the book and I don't get commission, but I do recommend it. But yeah, so I've had 1996, 2009. And then I think the biggest pivotal point probably was 2016, when there was a little bit of a family incident and I was holding on to a lot of anger and resentment, and this showed up in my body. And I think Alara will remember, because she always used to say, oh, not your foot again. And I don't have that foot condition anymore. But yeah, so that's when my journey really started.
Awesome. Thank you. And yes, I do remember the foot incident, because as you were speaking, I was thinking, oh, it's the foot. that was what it was. I remember now. Yeah. So, Roshney has been, like I said, a part of this community for a long time. She's also been a client, and now she is here as a guest. And again, I'm so excited because I know how she is. I know how she works. I know how good she is and talented, and what a wonderful heart she has. So today, Roshney, we're going to be talking about healing relationships, right? So let's talk about, the first step for me, the first piece of this is about the importance of the relationship you have with yourself, which I think is the key to and the foundation for all relationships, right? So let's talk a little bit about that, about what that means, what that looks like, and how can we cultivate a better relationship with ourselves.
So the key thing that I find with everyone, including myself, is self-love. Okay, so it's how can I say, it's easy to say, yes, I love myself, I love the way I look, I love what I do, but and I know it doesn't happen. Yeah, there's always a time in the day where we'll look in the mirror and we'll be like, oh, I don't like my nose today, or oh, I don't like my stomach showing, or we'll start hating ourselves and we'll start talking to ourselves in a bad way. And as soon as we do this, our energy and our vibration starts to lower. Yeah. And then when that lowers, that's when the low emotions kick in, a bit of depression, a bit of sadness. So every day, can you imagine if you're looking in the mirror and saying to yourself, oh, I don't like this, and I don't like this about myself? Your body, your cells are listening to you. So self-love is the key. Okay. The second thing is, we've talked about being critical about ourselves. Yeah. The other thing is, look at the reflection. So if someone is, how can I say this? Sorry. So if someone is being angry towards you, okay, have a look at yourself first. Okay. Are you holding anger as well? Because sometimes, not all the time, because sometimes when I say this to clients, they're like, I'm not like that. I'm not being angry. I'm not being jealous. It's her fault, or it's his fault. But in actual fact, there is a small reflection, a mirror of you in that person. Okay. So that's where the relationship with you comes in.
Absolutely. And I have to add a little bit. So, the self-love, I know it's a buzzword and it's a concept in the industry and everybody talks about it. And it's not always easy, right? Especially if we don't know what love really is and how it feels. So I've always focused more on acceptance, at least accept yourself, right? And the more you can love yourself, awesome, but at least start with acceptance. And so I know, like right now, my face doesn't look too bad, but you know, like I wasn't able to do shows for a couple of weeks because I had this horrendous case of rosacea that came out of nowhere. And so I was like, oh, so you know, I do look at myself every morning and say, oh, it's gotten worse. Oh, it's better today, but not to the point of judging myself or like being mean or critical, but just as like, okay, what's going on here? How can we clear this up? You know, 'cause it's also itchy, so it's uncomfortable, right? So it's about how do you talk to yourself in a loving way, right? And in a way that has self-acceptance in there too, and healing as well. So for sure. And then the other piece about the mirror, oh my God. People said that to me years ago, and I got like, no, I'm not like that at all. What are you talking about? It's like, I've never been like that. But the truth is, like you said, there is, if we are triggered even a little bit by somebody, by what they're doing, behaving, saying, etc., if we're triggered even a little bit, then there is a little bit of that within us. And that's why we are triggered. That's why we are reacting, right? It's because there's that something within us as well. So I always said, okay, well, maybe not in this lifetime, maybe in a previous life, it was there, but you know, it's like some things like absolutely not in this life. But right. So it's like I was like that. I said that too. So it is about looking, you know, I've grown wiser, I hope. But I've now realized that if I'm being triggered, there's a piece of that within me that I'm still holding on to. So that's like it's something I have to heal within me. And healing starts with acceptance first and foremost. You know, just accepting that it's there. And then you can heal it and change it. If you don't accept it, if you're resisting it, you can't change anything. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think the other thing is that we are so hard on ourselves about our life situation. Like I get many clients that say to me, oh, I'm 45 years old and I don't have a children. I don't have a house. I don't have this to my name. I don't have, 2.5 kids or whatever it is. And I'm like, it doesn't matter because your journey is your journey. Yeah. Just concentrate on yourself and love yourself for where you are now, and appreciate yourself and be grateful for what you do have. Because when you do, we're going to go into gratitude afterwards, but because when you are grateful, you actually attract more. But we tend to sort of say, oh, I'm a bit of a failure. I didn't do this and I didn't do that. So I think we beat ourselves up too much. Especially like marriages and things like that, people get really upset, like, oh, I shouldn't have had a divorce, I shouldn't have done this. I know from from my clients and from experience that basically every single person we meet is there for a reason, whether it's a divorce or whether it's a engagement or whether it's just a boyfriend girlfriend or whatever it is, whatever relationship it is, they are there for a purpose. They've served a purpose, so yeah.
Yeah. And part of that also has to do with not comparing yourself with other people. Like we are all on our own journey. Each of us has our own individual journey and path, and nobody is as unique as we are, right? So it's like we really can't compare. It's not fair to ourselves if we're comparing ourselves and our journey with somebody else's. It's like there's nothing we can do about it because we're not the same. No two people are ever the same, exactly, ever. So even though we may have a lot of things in common, but we're never exactly the same. And so you were talking about vibrational frequency. So let's talk a little bit about that. I'm all about raising your frequency, your vibration, and holding it, right? So raising it and holding it. But yes. Throughout the day, we are, our vibrational frequency goes up and down, and it's going to based on who we're talking to, what's going on in our lives, etc. But as soon as you recognize it, you can change it and go back up. And I think that's the key that people forget, is that you have control over your vibrational frequency. You can change it. You can let it go down, or you can help it to go back up when it does, because we're human. It's going to go down. It's going to fluctuate. That is normal. So please don't ever expect to hold that vibrational frequency at a certain level 24/7. You cannot, right? So, okay, I'm not going to say you cannot. You could, sure, but don't beat yourself up trying to do it.
So I love what you said, because it just rang a bell with me, because I never used to be able to identify that I can actually raise my vibration. Now I can, like, if I get very angry because I've gone outside and got a parking ticket or something like that's happened, um, I will get angry. I'm only human. Okay, remember we're having this. We're a soul having a human experience. Yeah, it's all about emotions. But then I will bring myself down. I'll either do a mantra or I'll calm down and I'll say to myself, okay, it's fine. It's happened for a reason. Let's look at the reason afterwards. Don't get angry. Yeah, and I make sure my vibration stays high. Otherwise, what happens is the rest of the day goes completely pear-shaped. Right? So it's like walking into a shop. You go into the shop, you go in a bad mood, you're bound to have like a queue full of people, someone at the till who doesn't know what they're doing, right? Okay, and then, you go there and you've queued for ages and then the tag isn't there, so you have to wait another half an hour, or you're going to, the changing rooms, and then there are no changing rooms, they're closed today. And then all these things start happening to you, and then your vibration gets lower, 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 lower. But now I've sussed it out that, okay, I can come out of this, and you can do it very quickly. Yeah, you can do it very quickly. So, and everyone can do this. Anyone can do this. Yeah.
But it's about remembering that we can and that we should. I mean, let's not go into the shoulds because we talked about that yesterday, but we can all raise our vibration frequency instantly. Okay, so do you have a quick tip or process for people on how they can raise their vibration frequency?
Oh God, I've got a whole PowerPoint on it. So what do I do? I basically ground myself. I basically just put my roots into the ground and then connect to source. And I say a prayer. I say a quick protection prayer, and that straight away grounds me, because then I know that if I'm in a low vibration, not so good energies will attach to me. Yeah. Nothing to be scared of, but then it's like when you go into a shopping center and you come back with a headache. Yeah, so it's because, so a lot of us can feel that when we go to a party or a room or somewhere. You walk into the room and you can just feel, these daggers or this cold energy. It's because our intuition, our gut tells us. Yeah. So, so I basically just say my protection prayer. I just connect to the earth and to source, and take a few deep breaths, and then I'm fine. Yeah. But I find protection prayers really help. They're very cleansing. You don't just have to say them in the morning or just when you go to sleep at night. They could be said throughout the day. Because I used to work in quite a toxic environment at work. So I used to have to say it quite a lot. It was just the type of clientele that we worked with. So, yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like, it might sound counterintuitive, like, okay, I want to raise my vibration frequency, but I'm grounding, right? But the point is, if you do not ground, you can't raise your vibration frequency, because we need to be here. We are here. We need to be here. We need to ground those higher vibrational energies into our body and being and where we are, right? So definitely ground, connect to source or your angels or guides, whatever it is that you do. And sometimes breathe. it's just and breathe. And sometimes it's just that reminder will automatically do it, right? I used to say, long time ago, I used to say shields up, right? When I would go into Walmart or something, and I should have done that the other day. I went to Walmart. It's like, oh my, I'm exhausted afterwards. Like, I am so tired. Oh my God. But I used to say shields up, right? As a quick little reminder of, I need to protect myself, right? And to keep my vibrational frequency the way it is. So there's two quick little tips for you all.
And actually, you taught me something back in 2017, which was the POD/POC statement as well. Is sometimes if you feel someone's energy and you're like, return to sender and POD/POC. And that was amazing. And I share that, thanks to you, Laura. I share that a lot in my workshops. So Thank you for that.
There's many tips and tricks and things you can do to raise your frequency. But I find sometimes even easier than any of that is just, snapping your fingers or clapping your hands or just seeing like the violet flame around you is going to help you for the protection and raise your vibration frequency at the same time. Anyways, there's some quick little tips. So, so let's talk a little bit about law of attraction. I know we were talking about The Secret, and to be fair, The Secret was a great concept, right, to get people to start thinking about their lives. it's not the end all be all. You still have to take action, and there's still stuff you have to do, but it gives you a starting point for sure. But yeah, so let's talk about the law of attraction, especially with regards to healing relationships.
Oh, wow. So I love this one. This is my favorite one. This one might take 2 hours. Okay. So as I said, when I got that book, when I first got married, which was quite a long time ago, the first thing I would do is always look at the negative side of my husband. I say, oh, he doesn't do the DIY. He's not very romantic. He doesn't buy me this. He just sits and watches television all day. He doesn't really, yeah, but I'm just, all these things were coming out, and all it did was bring a whole load of negative ball into our relationship, right? Negative energy. But when I read The Secret and I started changing, I started changing the way I saw things. Just one thing I loved was like, oh, well, actually, he's really good at doing this. And oh, actually, he's really supportive with this. And then these things grew. They grew and grew and grew. Yeah. To such a beautiful place. Yeah. So and it was the same like with someone at work. I was working with a member of staff years ago, and there was something about them that I didn't like. I don't know what it was, because our gut and intuition tells them, oh, I don't really like this person. And I started hating this person. I was like, I was managing this person. I said, why are you always on the phone at work time? Can you do it in your break time? And we used to have really, really horrible fights. And I used to go home really upset, and I was just thinking about this person 24/7 and thinking about all the things I hated about that person. And then The Secret came in, and I said, okay, let me find one thing I like about this person. And then it grew. And then we actually became best friends. So, and it taught me that in every single person, we're all good and bad. We all have some, but none of us are perfect. Not a single soul. Yeah. So, so look for the good things in someone. Be grateful for the good things that you have. And that really, really helps with the law of attraction. A lot of my clients have written back to me and said, my life has changed because of that. It's not because of The Secret, but just by being grateful and just by finding something good and not focusing on the bads.
Yeah. I agree. It's really key to, appreciate and acknowledge the good in the people around you. Like, for my husband, I always focus on the good. There's many things that I don't like, but if you were to ask me right now, like what? I don't know. But, it's like, I try and focus on what makes me happy, what lights me up that he does for me. And he does so much for me. He tries to. And if he could, he would do even more. He's not quite capable yet at the moment, but like before he had his stroke, he treated me like a princess. Like he did everything, and he loves to do stuff for me. So I would always appreciate all that, right? And so of course there's like, I'm also not perfect. I also have some quirks that some people may not like, but there was never any judgment about that. So like for key relationships, it's important to not judge the people in your life, but instead see the good. And the more that you see the good, appreciate the good, even if you don't acknowledge it out loud, say it in your head, and you'll start to see more of that behavior be prevalent in your relationship rather than the other stuff, right? And then the other stuff, either you don't notice it anymore, or they've started changing their behavior because they see how what they're doing well you like and appreciate and acknowledge, and so they start to do more of that, right? Because we're all going to do things that more of what our partner, spouse, family members like rather than the things that they don't, right? Unless we're trying to be on the bad side and bug them. That's different, right? So for sure, absolutely. And the more that you see the good in people, the more that good or that quality, that behavior increases automatically,
absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. I do tell my clients, I say to them, write down 100 things that you are grateful for about your partner, and they come back to me the following week. They say to me, no, I can only find about 10, but then they come back with like 200 the following week, and I said, see, So, it doesn't take long. It's just that, and when you write things down, like I always do a gratitude list at night for the last 4 or 5 years. When you write things down, you're sending a message out to the universe and to the ether to say, I'll have more of that. Sorry, I'll have more of that, please. So I'll have more of that good relationship. I'll have more of abundance. I'll have another better job, another new car, some more clients, or, so on.
Yeah, exactly. And it makes a difference, right? But you won't know until you start doing it. That's the truth, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So forgiveness and gratitude. So, I mean, we've talked about gratitude a lot in many shows and etc. and forgiveness. But the thing is with forgiveness and gratitude, it's not necessarily for another person. It's for us. It's to release that energy within ourselves so that we are more expansive and our vibration automatically rises again when you do the forgiveness work, when you do the gratitude, truly feeling it. It's not just the mechanics, but truly feeling that gratitude, right?
Absolutely spot on. You took the words out my mouth, because I wrote here, from the heart center. So, I was talking about that incident where, something happened to me in the family and I was holding so much anger and resentment. So I had this bursitis come up on my foot, and for 4 years. And it wasn't just a matter of writing a letter under the full moon and then burning it for forgiveness. I wish it was just that on its own, but no, oh boy, there was a lot of work that went with it. And it was the inner self, because I can write a letter, but I might not mean it. Yeah. And it might not come from the heart center. So it's got to come from the heart center. It's got to be with intention, and you've got to surrender and trust and believe that, that it's going to work. But the key thing is, you can't just expect, like, okay, I'll do I can never say the word, Ho'oponopono prayer, and, my relationship is healed. Yeah. There's always more to it. Sometimes it does help. Yeah, it does help. I've got to say, like, for me, because I'm quite good at manifesting, if something's gone wrong with a member of staff or even a member of family, I'll quickly say it. And it just turns things around. And it actually happened yesterday, actually. So, the free gift that I was giving away, I actually went through that. And it just turned things around. And I was like, wow, this really works, But it's with intention. It's with intention, and trust.
Yeah, absolutely. And the whole Ho'oponopono prayer, I find for myself, definitely changes the energy. So it definitely works. It changes the energy. But then, of course, we also have to look at, is there any other action we need to take, right? So with anything in life, it's not just the energetic. You also, need to sometimes do work at the physical level as well.
Yeah,
it depends,
absolutely.
right? It depends. But I've found that in my case. But it can help. So let's talk about the Akashic records. I know that you also trained with Arpita, as I did.
I found Arpita on here, actually.
yeah, exactly. Yes, I remember. So let's talk a little bit about how the Akashic records can help us to heal our relationships. And in this case, we're not talking about just a relationship with ourselves, but with our, family members, co-workers, whoever happens to be, children, etc., right?
Yeah. So basically, as you know, we've lived so many lives. Many of us have had so many lives together. And not that we remember all of them. However, in those lives, events have taken place, things have been said, there have been marriages, there have been relationships, we'd made vows, we made contracts, and all that is recorded in the Akashic records in this cosmic library. And basically, we come down, or I shouldn't say come down, because that's not the right thing to say. We come to Earth basically to learn the lesson, to heal the karmic actions. And we'll keep doing this until we've healed it or accepted it, like Alara said, or learnt from it. And it could go on and on and on and on. Yeah. Now, what I found is that, and this is all from experience from my clients and from myself, is that we do the forgiveness work, but sometimes we suppress it. Yeah. So I might say to myself, oh yeah, I forgave her ages ago. And then deep down inside, there's a little bit of me that's still bitter about it. Yeah.
Mm.
Or I've pushed it away thinking, oh, I don't need to forgive her. It's fine. I'm not really bothered about it. But deep down inside, if you met that person outside, you would be triggered. Yeah.
Mhm.
You would feel some sort of heat wave come along, or you'd be like, oh my God, I don't want her to see me, or I don't know what to say, or you'd get a hot flush. Okay, so these things are there for a reason. Yeah, every single person in your life, whether it's your neighbor, whether it's your teacher, whether it's your boss, or whether it's your client or your son or your daughter, they've come here to show you something. We chose our families, we chose our friends before we came into this life, just so that we could heal these emotions and live out, these karmic actions, yeah, and learn the lesson. So that's how the Akashics really helps.
Awesome. And the thing is, it's like, for those of you who believe in past lives, great. For those of you who don't, great. But I know for myself, like a lot of the key relationships in this lifetime, I know are from previous lifetimes, because they're so strong, they're so deep, they're so powerful, and they're so intense. And there's, I consider myself quite lucky to have certain friendships that I've had for over 20, 30 years. And so those are really strong bonds that we have, right? Because we've worked together, we've lived together, we've had relationships together. But in this lifetime, we're having a different type of relationship, right? So it's not always the same. And even with our children, especially, it's like, definitely, I mean, sometimes I think my daughter was definitely my mother in a past life, because she sometimes has those traits where she tries to mother me, and I'm like, I'm the mom.
That's what I say about my son. I swear he was a father in my previous life.
and it's probably true, right? So my daughter was not always my daughter in past lives. I know in one she was my sister, younger sister, kind of thing. So it depends. So we always have to look at our relationships in this lifetime as, okay, what are what are they teaching me? What am I here to learn from this relationship? Because that's the only reason why we are in relationship with each other, is to learn something, or to experience something, right?
Yeah, completely. And you just reminded me that I know quite a few people have said to me before, with forgiveness, whether it's from previous lifetime or this lifetime, is that we don't condone. If someone's done something bad to you, we don't condone it. It doesn't forgiveness doesn't mean, oh yes, I forgive you, everything's fine. No. We don't have to speak to them, but it's our soul speaking to their soul to say, you know what, I've accepted it. This is what I've come to heal because I did this to you in the previous lifetime. I've had, it's like a vice versa. We're doing it to each other again in this lifetime, but I am truly sorry for this. And so when you do this forgiveness work, which goes on nicely to cord cutting later on. Yeah. So when you do this from the soul, it really heals miraculously. So I get people message me the next day saying, I don't know what you did. I don't know how you did it, but they're talking to me now, or this is what they did. So this is how powerful cord cutting and forgiveness is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And so, there is hope. So for those of you who may have difficult relationships, or maybe you haven't talked to a sibling in 20 years or etc., you still don't have to, but for your own energy field and your emotional field, it can be helpful to heal that relationship, not for them but for yourself, so that you can move forward with more ease and grace, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Otherwise, it becomes an emotional block. And this is what I'm all about, is that I love helping people, show them that they can heal themselves to get rid of these emotional blocks. A lot of it will be, okay, I can't get a job, or I can't find the right partner, or I can't, attract abundance. Why is it? It's because we need to do the gratitude. We need to do the forgiveness. We need to do whatever work it is. It's not, I'm not like, no one's a miracle worker that it'll be done in an hour and you'll get everything perfect. Yeah. We've come here to heal quite a lot.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so that's, that's a lot of the content we wanted to talk about, but we also wanted to take some live caller questions, and then we are going to do a meditation after that. But so if you would like to ask our Roshney questions about your relationships or anything, right, Roshney, like any type of question? Any type of question. So like these are going to be like mini readings, mini healings, not healing, but mini readings, right? Mini messages. If you want to raise your hand, or you can type your question in the chat. We'll take some questions, and then we will go from there. We'll see what happens. We'll see how it goes. Manisha. Oh, I got lipstick. Go ahead. Manisha, you want to unmute? Manisha is going to be the guinea pig first, because
Thank you, Alara. Hi, Roshni.
Hi, Manisha.
Today's call is so interesting, forgiveness and gratitude. I mean, Alara's always been talking about it. And I've been practicing, yes, I've had quite a lot of, let me put my video on, I thought it was on. Yeah, I've had quite a lot of challenging relationships with my father, who's passed away, siblings, etc.
So what's your question, Manisha?
I'd love some, apart from forgiveness and gratitude, can you see anything else I can do? Or is that what I should do on a regular basis? Just to
I can definitely sense what did your father pass away recently, or
no, about 14 years ago, but unfortunately he was estranged from me because of other siblings, etc. So he did not perform a father's duty of So I have a lot of anger inside me. That's what I'm coming.
Yes, so definitely forgiveness work on yourself, and forgiveness to him. The cord cutting processes that would be the key thing. So what I tend to find a lot is many clients that have had relatives that have passed away. Even if they weren't estranged, or even if they were very close, it doesn't matter. But there was always things left unsaid. Yeah, so it might be something like, I'm sorry, I didn't, I wasn't there for you, or I just want to tell you I miss you and I love you. Yeah. So when your soul says that to spirit, to the ones that have passed over, it reaches them. Yeah, it's just with intention, and you put yourself in a beautiful space and set the intention, do it from the heart, and miracles will happen. I truly believe that cord cutting is more powerful rather than just the forgiveness on its own, because what cord cutting is that we all have energetic cords. We have good ones and we have bad ones, and sometimes a bad one forms because we might have resentment that, Dad, you weren't there, or or I said this to you, or he said this to me, and that builds up this negative cord. And what we do is we basically cut that, and we speak to the soul, we speak to their soul. And you actually do it, and you say what you want to say. So that's how the cord cutting process works, and I think that would be really good for you. But you can still do your own forgiveness work as well.
Wonderful, because where I'm coming from is growing up until he remarried. He was an amazing father, and then when he got remarried, and then influence from other siblings, etc., he became a monster. So he was a totally different person.
So it is sometimes when they've passed away, forgiveness seems harder, because you think, oh, how can I move on from this? But I was really blessed. I did forgiveness because both my parents passed away a long time ago, and I did forgiveness to both of them via good old YouTube through Doreen Virtue. I know she's a different person now, but anyway, we're not supposed to name and shame. But I learned how to do a part of cord cutting then, and did it move mountains for me? Honestly, it really did. Brought a lot of tears. It literally took bricks off my shoulder, because I was carrying all this grief. And that's what we tend to do. We carry a lot of grief. Yeah. We don't realize it, but it actually plays out in our life. It stops us from doing things. Yeah. So, yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much, Alara. Thank you so much, Roshney, because I often also blame, like you said, do it for both parents. Both my parents have passed away. That I would blame my mum that had she not passed away 40-something years ago, I wouldn't have had this horrible relationship with my father. So doing for both the parents, I think, is a fantastic idea. Thank you, Alara. Thank you, Roshni.
That's okay. Manisha, I just want to add, because I think this will help others as well, is that when we're younger, because I did used to blame my mum and dad for a lot of things. And then when you go on this spiritual path, you realize that they had their journey too, right? God knows what they went through. And we are so blessed that many of us are able to do this kind of work and that we are here right now. They didn't have that opportunity. Some of them did, some of them didn't, but not to the extent that we have. So I look back and I thought, oh my God, yeah, my dad was part of the military, and that's why he was quite regimental and quite angry sometimes. Yeah. And, my mum, typical Asian lady where you have to just shut up and do what you have to do. Yeah. So, and I was like, Mum, why didn't you put your foot down? Why didn't you speak? Why didn't, but that's what their journey was. That was the time then. Times are different now. So we have to forgive them, because we don't know what they went through as a child as well. Yeah.
I really needed to hear that, because I don't want to take too much of your time, but thank you for that. I really needed to hear that, because my father was a bully. He used to beat my mama. So, even though I blame her sometimes, like you said, I need to, show her. She was an amazing lady. So just, love her and show her compassion. And
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing that, Manisha.
Thank you, Manisha. And one thing about forgiveness, I just want to share, it's not a one and done. Sometimes it's a process. I know I did forgiveness work for my first ex-husband many times, and I think I'm pretty good now. So I think I've healed that piece quite enough, I think. And how do I know that it has worked? Is because when I think about him, I don't get triggered. I don't feel emotional. I don't feel angry. I don't feel anything, right? So that's how you know when the forgiveness has worked, because somebody asked in the chat about that. How do you know if you have forgiven someone? That's how you know, when there's no more reaction, there's no more trigger. Okay. So, but it took me a long time, to be honest, 25 years, to fully be over it and heal that relationship. So it may not be a one-time thing. It might be you have to do it a few times. and at the same time be gentle with yourself, right?
Yeah, and it is sometimes not just one person, because imagine how many things we've said to people and how many difficult conversations we've had with people, and these cords get attached. So and like we all know we are onions, right? So and sometimes we heal it and it shows up again, and I'm like, oh my God, what now? I thought I cleared this, so yeah, just keep doing the work. It's important to keep doing the work.
Tanya Caldwell and Namisha is asking, how do I raise my hand? You can look under reactions or under your own name. It'll be there, and how to raise your hand. It'll be there, but under reactions, it should say raise your hand. But we will. I'll get to you, since I know you want to do it. Go ahead, Tanya. Sorry.
Hello, ladies. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
So my question is, because as I understand that me and my ex, we probably had agreement about what we do to each other and stuff, but I think I always thought that I forgave whatever he done, and I have very little reaction left. So I notice sometimes there is still reaction, especially when we have to talk sometimes. But whenever I talk to my friends, they pull me back into my experience, because they start saying, oh, I can't believe your husband did that and did that. Are you still angry? And I say, no. Do you still have pain? And I say, no. But eventually, because they start asking questions, I find myself talking about my past and going through that same experience and saying to myself, hello, you put yourself just now into victim mentality again. So how do I make my friends stop talking about it? And
tell them, say,
Yeah.
listen, I'm not talking about this anymore. I'm working on it on my own. I don't need to talk about it anymore. Thank you for your concern, but
Yeah.
I don't need to talk about it anymore.
I know,
I never talk about my
Straight.
past relationships.
we talk about my son, start talking about my son. And then eventually, because my son had reaction to, like, he was in lots of pain and now he has acne, he's depressed. So I feel sorry for my son, yes. And then because we talk about my son, it sleeps somehow. I don't know, I have to be probably either stronger or just to control what I say, where I don't go, and I just cut it off and say, no, I'm not talking about it, no. Or is it something like somebody told me that it is samsara that we live in, trying to hook you back into the past and kind of, is it?
No, but you're strong enough to not get hooked back into the past.
And somehow I get hooked somehow. I don't know how.
Yeah, because you're allowing yourself to get hooked into the story.
Yeah.
So if you, sorry, Roshney, just if you keep getting hooked into the story, then that means you still have more work to do.
Yeah, no, probably I do.
Right, more forgiveness work and etc. Go ahead, Roshney. Sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. Alara's absolutely right. So if you are still triggered when they mention it, that means there's some healing work that still needs to be done. Now, because you said it keeps happening. Now, I can't tell you to choose your friends, okay? Sometimes we have colleagues, sometimes we have friendships, sometimes we have neighbors, and these conversations are going to come up. So we can't go around like not being friends with no one, if that makes sense. We can't be lonely. So we need to have these people in our life. But they are also showing you something, like I mentioned before. They're showing you something. Your job is to find it, what they're showing you. So something, again, Alara, a lot of the stuff that I learned from Alara as well is there's like, what's right about this that I'm not getting? Yeah. So I say that a lot in my workshops, because in any situation as well, is that there's always been something shown to us, but we're not getting it, which is why it keeps reoccurring. So you've got to, sit back and say to yourself, okay, what is it that I need to heal? Yeah, there's something that I need to heal here. Why am I being triggered? Yeah, and maybe it's teaching you to, like Alara say, is be strong and don't be triggered by it. Maybe you have done the forgiveness work. Yeah, I sense there is a little bit of forgiveness still left there. I do sense that. I feel like you have done a lot. I feel like you've done a lot of work, but there is like a little, as they say, a little dust of it hanging around.
Probably my son triggers it because I see he's suffering a lot. And
so when we bless your son, but what happens is when someone's suffering with an illness, because like I said, I had a family member who had cancer, and one of the things that I learned from the law of attraction is that when you pity someone, they actually get worse. Yeah. Because we're adding like, oh my God, poor thing, you poor thing. What you can do is just every day send unconditional love, put your son in a sparkly bubble of light, do protection prayer for him, and just, send him unconditional love from your heart. The free gift that I've given via Alara is not just for forgiveness, but that process really sends blessings and love from your heart center. And when you do this to the person that's ill, and you do it with intention, and you do it with your angels and your guides, it really works miracles. It really does. Yeah. And especially because, there are children as well. Yeah. So, but when we do, I know it's difficult, when a family member's ill and, and we're like, oh my God, my poor son, it's natural to do that, right? Anyone, even if it's our partner, our parents, it's natural to do that. But what they don't need is, they don't need our pity, but what they need is our love, and they need our strength to say, I am okay. I'm going to be okay. I am all right. Yeah. It's those kind of words that they need, because words are spellings. So whatever you're thinking and whatever you're saying is going to come true. So when you're saying, oh, poor thing, oh God, he's suffering, guess what the universe is going to give you? More of that. Yeah.
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 Yeah. That's it for
You've
me.
got I feel like you don't have too much forgiveness work to do. I feel that it's just a small dust. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Roshni.
That's
Thank you,
okay.
Laura. Thank you, ladies. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Tanya. All right, we're going to go to Sunita. You want to unmute?
Hi.
Hi.
I have a
Listen.
question about my mother. What you told about the past of my mother, she hurt. And I am sexually abused, and I in the child I was abused by my mother also. But I forgive her, and I healed myself in that process. Not finished in that. But my mother don't want be in contact with me, and when people are coming to me, almost women, and they come for coaching, but the issue is always sexual abuse, and my mother don't want. That is my job. And my mother is always saying, you live in the past and blah, 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 blah. And then she don't want to be in contact with me. But I think that is her process, because she know she was wrong, and I forgive her about that. But then she don't, just now a month ago, she posted with the WhatsApp a text, and she said van, I read something on Facebook about your past, and I don't want to have contact with you anymore. And it is coming. Then after half year, she's contacting me, and then 3 months no, and then what is wrong with it?
So I got two things my guides are telling me. The first thing is definitely some past life stuff going on here between you two. Yeah. So there's some past life healing that needs to take place. The second thing is, if she chooses not to speak to you and you've done the work, like you said, that's her journey, that's her choice. Yeah. You carry on being this beautiful soul that you are, and carry on doing the beautiful work that you're doing. I don't know if you're familiar with Louise Hay, but she went through something similar. And you can find a lot of her YouTube and her books and everything about her journey. And I know it's not a nice thing to say, but sometimes all these mean things happen to us so that we can help others. Yeah. And we can be that light. Yeah. And you've done the best thing by doing what you're doing. It's absolutely amazing. So you should thank your soul and be grateful to your soul for doing this. And yes, I feel like you've done all the forgiveness that you need to with mum. Yeah. I don't sense, my guides are telling me that you don't need to do any more. However, I think you're very kind-hearted as well. I think you're a very big soul. So, you're probably a bit like me. Sometimes, even though some people say things and do things to us, we're kind of like brush it away and like, okay, fine, I forgive them. It's fine. I move on. We're quite forgiving like that, which is good. But then they behave like this, right? But what you have to now do is use your discernment, okay? And sort of say, okay, what do I want to do with mum now? Do I want to just ignore her and let this go? Okay. And let her come in her own time? Because again, if you send her love, unconditional love, blessings from the heart, if you do it from your heart center, she will change. It reaches her, because when you do the healing work, it will impact her as well. It will change her. We can't change people. We have to change.
And I did that, and I give her for Mother Day flowers, but then I get a text, I don't want the flowers, and I don't want contact. And so I'm like, okay. And my brother says he's going in December, 75 years old, and he said, you don't go to her, and you don't do that and that. But she's my mother, and I feel that she is so hurt that she feel,
It's her
loves
journey.
me,
Yeah.
that she can't feel the love. She can't, she's too
So-
hard to do the love to her children.
So, Sunita, the first thing my guide just said to me just now is hurt people hurt people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's been hurt somewhere down in her life. I don't know what's happened. Yeah. Or in her previous life. And that's her way of hurting you now. Okay. And definitely something to do with some past life clearing. Yeah. However, you can just carry on being the beautiful soul that you are and just let her just, do what you feel's right. If you want to go around and give her flowers, do it. Yeah. I've been in a very similar situation. If you want to give her something, do it. But if you don't want to, don't do it for the sake of, oh, it's my mother, I have to do it. It's my mother, I have to go on Mother's Day. I have to go and do it. Do it because you're doing it from the heart. Yeah. Don't do it because your brother's doing it and because it's the thing that we have to do as children. Go with what your gut and your intuition and your heart is saying. Yeah. And usually it will always tell you to do the right thing. It will always tell you to do the right thing. And when you do it from the heart, watch her change. She will change. She will change. Because like you said, it's her journey.
Okay,
Yeah,
thanks.
But I think I would also recommend the cord cutting as well. I think that will help the relationship. But give her space, give her time, give her space. Let her choose. Let her come to you.
It's going for 40 years.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all right. It's okay.
I think Akashic records would definitely help as well. That would definitely help because it's some past life. It feels like it's a heavy past life kind of karmic action going on here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Sunita.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna go to somebody here. Who is it? Phone number, I don't know, 702 blah 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 6648. I think she's not there. Looks like Stella, but I'm not sure. She's not there. All right, we're gonna go to Nimisha and then we'll go back to the other person. Nimisha, you want to unmute? Nimisha.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Hi, Lara. Hi, Roshni. Hi, everyone.
Hello. Hi. Hi, Nimisha.
Hi. Hi. So my question is I've been very calm recently because I suffer with menopause, as probably many others are at the moment. And I don't have the usual symptoms of getting angry. And I said that, but the last couple of days I've been very, very angry. And negativity seems to follow me. My partner comes home, he's had a hard day and he's angry, I'm angry, but I really suppress it. I don't show my anger to him. But then every day there just seems to be like we're not together all day, but then when we meet in the evening, he's pissed off with something, so we're not connecting. And we met in unusual circumstances. We've tried to make it work. We've split up so many times. We've been living together for quite some time. And I don't know, it just feels like his energy is very negative and it's affecting my energy because I'm letting it, I guess. So my question is, how do I deal with this negativity? Because I'm calm all day until they come home.
So there was a lot of key messages I got there. I'll go back to the first one is, you were saying that you were feeling angry and then you saw the anger in him. Yeah. So like we mentioned before, is like there is a little bit of a mirror process going on there. So it could be that you're angry with yourself about something and it's now showing up in him. Okay. The other thing is I got shown like a big blue cord that needs cutting between you and your partner around communication. And I know you suffer from throat problems, and that's what communication's about. Yeah. So it also, what else am I getting? Yeah. So the self-love for yourself, self-love. Okay. So when you love yourself a lot more, that love will show up in your relationship. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. I don't know if that helps, Nim.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I've been manifesting a lot, writing a gratitude journal. I was writing it actually publicly for quite some time, but then I had some issues health-wise, so I didn't go on social media so much anymore. But within myself, and I feel, when you feel that energy, that joy coming from the heart, when you're doing the gratitudes, and when I'm doing them, I feel it, and I feel so happy.
Yeah.
And then I feel like they get undone the minute I see his face, and like he doesn't look grateful for anything and everything that I do for him all day.
Did you
It's
try
like
the listing 100 things about him that you're grateful for? Okay, try that. Try that. Try the free gift that Alara, that's on Alara's page, to do with healing relationships. Yeah, try that. If that fails, which I don't think it will, there is, I don't think you've done cord cutting with him.
I don't think so. No, I haven't.
I've had a few sessions with you, but I don't think you've done cord cutting with him. So I feel that will really help as well. Yeah. Especially because I saw a blue cord, and that's communication. So
I remember when we had a session, and you actually saw that it was him I needed to cut the cord with, but
someone else came up, isn't it? Someone. That's what happens with cord cutting, is we think that we've got an issue with this person, but sometimes when we go and we connect to our guides, and we go, and connect to spirit, someone else comes up, because that's the strongest person or the strongest situation that needs to be cleared first. And like I said, we've got so many people that, you might have had 100, not you, we might have had like 100 friends or 100 boyfriends and girlfriends. And then, then they might have not ended so good. Imagine all those cords that we need to heal and forgive. So, there's always loads of people, family, friends that we need to heal with.
I think I do need to write them down, because even though I don't write them, I think of all the good things that he's good with, and
so
good with me.
When you write, it multiplies. When you write something down, when you say an affirmation and you write it down and you speak it, it multiplies. So when you were doing that on Facebook, that was brilliant. So, but you don't even have to do it on Facebook if you don't want. If it's a bit of a chore, because sometimes it feels like that. Just write it, keep a book, write it in the book, and keep looking at it. I do it. I've been doing it for 5-6 years. And sometimes I go back and I write the date, and I look back and I thought, oh, what was I doing, 4 years ago today? And I was like, oh, okay, I won 100,000 on the lottery. Or like, oh, okay, I helped someone do this. Because I'll even write things that I'm grateful for, like, oh, I helped someone, cook dinner, or I helped someone, dropped them off somewhere. Or I saved a little cat, or whatever it was. Because be grateful to yourself as well. It's not just about, and gratitude is not just about people. It could be, sometimes people are like, oh, I don't know what to be grateful for. I just say, I'm grateful I have a roof over my head. I'm grateful I got a bed. I'm grateful I can breathe. All these little things that add up.
Thank you.
Is that okay, Namisha?
Yeah, thank you.
Great.
Thank you, Namisha. I want to just quickly, there was some questions in the chat really quick. So Ann Johnson had written in the chat, I've been so hard on myself that I don't actually notice when I'm making progress. I've lived in the mindset that there's always more to work on. I'm missing out on joy and feeling satisfaction. So that's difficult, and for sure, you don't want to live that way. I mean, live life to the fullest, with joy, etc. Things will come up that you can work on. Don't go looking for things to work on, right? Things will just automatically come up. But what message do you have for Anne about that?
So, hi, Anne. Lovely, Anne. So, remember we talked about the critical side in the beginning, is that we do criticize ourselves to say that, why hasn't this happened at this stage, or why isn't this happening, or why hasn't this person, when we do the why is good, being curious is good, But when we get down to the low vibration of that why, then that's not good, because that will put a stop to anything that is about to come into your life. Yeah. Sometimes we have to, because I do this on my vision boards, is that you know, put a picture of a, you know, tall, dark, handsome man, yeah, on your vision board, keep looking at it and just let it go. But don't wonder, how is this person going to arrive in my life? Because when that low vibrational wonder, that's what stops it. Because then we'll be, oh no, why would they want to be with me? Because I'm X, Y, and Z. All those low vibrational whys. There's a good why, you know, it's always good to be curious, but then there's also the low vibrational why. Yeah. So, you know, being hard on yourself is, again, your organs are listening, your brain cells are listening, your heart center's listening, your soul is listening, and your soul is recording this. Like even now, while we're on this show, this is recording in the Akashic Records in the Cosmic Library. So well done to all of you guys for being here. So well done to Anne for answering that question and writing it down, because now you're opening up curiosity to say, why is this happening? So the universe can then invite in whatever it is that you need. Yeah. So that you know, because you've questioned it. Some people will not ask these things. Some people will be shy and say, you know, and just stay quiet. Yeah. So well done to you, Anne, for saying that. But I'm getting, let's have a look. Yeah, through meditation, prayers, you know, you're going to get the answers. Yeah, you've got all the answers within you. Not everyone can get the answer straight away, but you can, Anne. Yeah, and I think you know that.
Awesome. Thank you, Anne. And Chris had a question in the chat. How can I improve my relationship with my son? He has been so emotionally distant for 25 years since adolescence. Okay, so definitely cord cutting, definitely past life I'm getting. Also, it's really difficult with children because, you know, he's come here to show you something, right? And you've come here to show him something, and you've come here to heal something in this lifetime. And until you heal it, if you don't heal it, it's going to keep happening again each lifetime or each cycle. Yeah. So, like I said, healing doesn't mean you have to do mounts and mounts of work. Yeah. Sometimes it's knowing what it was in the previous lifetime and accepting it. As soon as you've accepted that, oh yeah, it was that. Okay. In the previous lifetime, I was really horrible to him. You know, I was his wife or something like that. And I was really nasty to him. Yeah. As soon as you accept that, you've healed it. Yeah. So there's different levels in the Akashic Records of types of healing. There's acceptance, there's cord cutting within the Akashic Records as well. There's forgiveness, there's clearance of entities and energies. There's a whole load of stuff. And I do a separate cord cutting process as well. Yeah. And I do one in the Akashic Records as well. So I do whatever I'm guided to do when the client is with me. I'll get told, right, you need to do it in the Akashic Records. No, you don't. You need to do this outside the Akashic Records. Yeah. So I get guided. So for yourself, I would definitely say past life. You need to do some past life healing amongst yourselves. I wouldn't say that I can actually see your relationship healing in the future, but it's up to you to do the work, right? Like I said, we have to change. We can't change people. And when you do the healing, when any of you do the healing on yourself, you'll see it in your son and people around you. I hope that helps, Chris. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Chris. All right, so because we're talking about a little bit about how you do the work and what you work with, let's take a moment and share the special offer page and talk about the packages. I'm just going to share my screen. You should be able to see my screen now. So we have 3 packages from Roshney. Package A are 3 workshops, pre-recorded workshops Package B is everything in package A plus a 45-minute personal session with Roshney. Package C is, again, everything in package A plus 3 personal sessions with Roshney. So let's talk a little bit about, and I will let you. So package A, go ahead. I'll let you talk about it.
So package A, so I've run workshops every 2 weeks on different subjects, yeah, and raising your vibration, the clairs, and healing emotions that show up in your body. So you will get an audio recording of this to keep. You'll get the PowerPoint presentation, and the PowerPoint presentation has, some of them has like 11 to 12 tools, and some of them has about 30 or 40 tools within them. Okay, so they're really good tools that you can do yourself in order to raise your vibration or to heal emotions that are showing up in your body, or about the clairs. So the clairs is all about your, your sixth sense, your intuition, your gut, how to bring these out, because we're all very intuitive. It's just that we sometimes get dumbed down by mainstream and chemicals and things like that. Yeah, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. Sorry, Laura.
It's all good. So package A is $33. And now package B is everything in package A plus a 45-minute personal session with Roshney. So what does that one-to-one session with you look like?
So the one-to-one session is whatever is right for the client, is what I will do. It usually starts off with inner child healing, because that's where sometimes most of the emotional blocks are. And then it might lead on to cord cutting or an Akashic records reading. So it's usually the emotional, the inner child healing that I start off with, but sometimes I go straight into the cord cutting because I just get guided. I just get told you need to do this from whatever the client says. I will know, from what they're saying and how they're feeling.
Awesome. So package B is $55.55. And package C, again, is everything in package A, those 3 pre-recorded workshops and PowerPoint presentations, plus 3 personal sessions with Roshney for $111. So go ahead.
Yeah, so basically you can have 3 sessions. You can book them over 6 months. I prefer to have them at least 2-3 weeks apart, because when you get healing, when you've cleared a lot of emotions and blocks, you need that healing time to integrate into your body and into your soul, into your energy and atmosphere. Yeah, nothing to worry about, but you need time to settle. Yeah, it's I think Alara remember like years ago, when I first started all this, sometimes I'd go to Alara, then I'd go to someone else, then I'd go to someone else, then I'd have all these wonderful things done, and then the next week I would be just like, like I'd taken something. Yeah. So you do really need healing to integrate and settle. Yeah, which is why you can book it over, usually I would say book over 6 months, but you can spread them out 12 months. It's totally fine. Yeah. But I've written 6 months. Sorry.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have.
Yeah.
Stick with that. Yeah. Awesome. And so there's some wonderful testimonials on here as well. Take a look at. Oops, I need to change that picture. So there is no payment plan for package A or B, but there is a payment plan for package C. All right, so please do take advantage of these packages. How far in advance are you booked right now, Roshney, or can people get sessions with you pretty soon?
People can get sessions pretty soon. I forgot the Diwali. How can you forget Diwali's coming? So I forgot to block bits for Diwali. I'm going to block that tonight. And but other than that, I'm now that I'm a full-time spiritual energy coach, I'm going to be available quite a bit.
Awesome. Good. So now we want to be doing the meditation, right? And there's a meditation with with the golden tree. And of course, in this meditation, if you have any healing that you would like, to happen for you, please make that intention as well, right?
Absolutely. So set the intention, trust, surrender, let go, be in the moment, have some water, breathe, because it's the breathing that connects you to your guides, and just, be in the moment. And there was something very important I say. So what you're going to ask your guides when we go into the golden tree is, what is it that I need to know about relationships? Yeah, well, sorry, let me rephrase that. What is it that I need to heal about relationships? And, or you can say, who do I need to heal relationship with? Okay, so who is it that I need to heal the relationship with? So you can choose, you can ask both. We'll give you like a few minutes while we're in there of silence so that you can ask your guides. Okay. Right.
I'm just going to put it in the chat just so that people have that little bit here.
Thank you.
So ask, what do I need to heal or know about a certain relationship?
Yep. Perfect.
Okay.
Or who do I need to heal the relationship with?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because sometimes it could be someone who's passed over. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. That's true.
And have some water.
All right. So have a sip of water first before we start. Awesome. All right.
Yeah. Ready. Just going to take my socks off. Got a heart suddenly. All right. Okay. So if we can start off by putting our feet gently on the ground and put your left hand on your heart and your right hand on top, and just gently, so no tension anywhere in the body. And I want you to close your eyes and just completely relax and take a nice long deep breath in the nose for 3. And on the out breath, a longer out breath for 5 from the mouth. So here we go, in the nose for 3 and out the mouth for 5. So make the out breath slow. So in the nose for 3 and out the mouth for 5. One more time. In the nose for 3 and out the mouth for 5. So I want you to imagine from the bottom of your feet, beautiful, beautiful roots going all the way down into Mother Earth, into the center of Gaia. And there is her very own heart center. And in her heart center is this beautiful grounding energy of calm and peace and joy. I want you to bring this beautiful energy up to your feet, up to your ankles, up to your knees, up to your heart center. And your heart center is a transporter for the rest of the body. It's now going to transport this beautiful Mother Earth energy to every single organ and blood cell within your body. I want you to now imagine a beautiful, beautiful golden cord going up from the crown of your head, beyond the roof of your home, into the universe, and beyond that, into the multiverse, and beyond that. And there you will find a beautiful universal heart. And in this heart is unconditional love and unconditional light and all the wisdom that you've ever known. Bring this beautiful energy down to your crown, to your third eye, to your throat, back to your heart center, down to your solar plexus, your sacral, your root, down to your knees, your feet, and all the way down to Gaia's heart center, where they both connect into place. Take a deep breath. Breathe out. You are now connected to Gaia and aligned to Source. So within your heart center is a beautiful light. This light can sometimes be dimmed by day-to-day life things. Just know that you have the power to expand this light. We are pretty magical beings that are just full of light. So I want you to take your heart center now, take that light and spread that light throughout the whole of your body. If you are sensing any pain or any discomfort or disease anywhere in the body, use the light in your heart center like a laser beam to shine upon this area. So just scan through your body and do this now. Because sometimes all the body needs and all the blood cells need is a bit of love and light. And when you give them love and light, they give that back to you. So just scan through your body and do that now. Don't forget to breathe. And once you've done that, I want you to imagine Gaia in front of you. She can be round, she can be blue, she can be flat. Whatever you see is right for you. I want you to take that beautiful love and light from your body and cover Gaia with this beautiful love and light. What this is, because whatever you give out to the world is whatever you get back. And then don't forget, you're important as well. So bring that love and light back from Gaia and put it back into yourself. Take a deep breath in the nose for 3 and out the mouth for 5. So now we go into the golden tree meditation. So I want you to imagine that you are in a beautiful forest. This is a forest, something that you've never seen before. You can hear birds humming their beautiful tunes. You can hear bees buzzing around. You can feel beautiful, beautiful soft wind whispering into your ear. You can hear the whisperings of the bushes and the trees around you. And as you're walking ahead of this beautiful path, you can see a beautiful golden tree. This golden tree is a magical tree. The leaves are made from a platinum gold, and the bark is made of a shimmering gold. I'd like you to go up to this tree and just stand underneath this tree. And the roots of this tree are coming up to your feet, and they are sending up this beautiful golden light into all of your cells and the whole of your body, from your feet to your knees to your heart center. You are now covered in this beautiful golden light from the roots of this tree. And from the top of the tree is emanating, coming down to your crown, this beautiful platinum light. And the platinum light is covering your third eye, your throat, your heart center, your solar plexus and sacral and the root, your hips and knees and your toes. So you now have a two-tone platinum and golden light whizzing through you. So trees are one of the most magical and wisest things on this planet. So I would like you to go up to this tree and give the tree a great big hug. And once you've done that, just step away, and on the right-hand side of the tree, you will see a small golden archway door, a single door. I'd like you to go into this room through that door. You are inside the tree. There are no windows in this tree, but just pure golden light, magical light. And you see a golden bench in the center of the room. I'd like you to take a seat there. Look around at the surroundings. What do you see? I see a golden owl. I see a golden fairy, and I see some golden books on the shelf as well. And just sit comfortably on the bench while these beautiful elementals are around you. And I want you to set the intention to invite and call your guides, your spirit guides, your angels, your masters, loved ones that have passed away. Call them in for your highest and best good. Call them to surround you and to help you with what it is that you need to know now about relationships. So I'm going to stay quiet for a few minutes and let you ask the question. Okay, so hopefully you received the answers from your loved ones and your guides. I'd like you to thank your guides and loved ones for being here and helping you today, and just know that you can connect with them anytime. Doesn't have to be in the golden tree, it could be anywhere. You just have to set the intention, ground yourself and connect to them. So thank them once again. Thank all the beautiful elementals inside the tree and make your way outside the tree, back into that beautiful forest. Give the tree one more hug. Say thank you to the tree. And start walking away back into that beautiful forest. And when you're ready, really, really slowly come back to me.
Beautiful. Thank you. I was at one point so getting hot. Oh my goodness. There was a lot of energy building. How is everybody doing? And what message did you get about your relationship that needs to be healed, or who do you have to heal it with? It's so fun.
Did I give enough time to?
Yes.
Okay, I wasn't sure because I'm known for rushing that bit myself.
No, that was, and because so I got like two different people, but then the message was, but yourself is the priority. So those are, you can work on those, but yourself is the priority. That's what I got for myself. Right?
Mm-hmm.
How's everybody else doing? How is that for you? What did you experience, and who did you see in your golden tree in the room? That was different. It was for me, I saw a golden dragon, but then I saw also a golden phoenix, which I That was strange, but it was like, oh, okay, cool.
Wow.
So those were two of the ones that I saw as the guides, messengers, in the inside the tree. Manisha says, thank you for this beautiful process. I got wonderful messages and I saw Lord Krishna and Lord Shiva. Wow, nice.
Amazing.
Good job. Nimisha says, thank you, Roshney. I did. I saw Krishna and Christ. I always see them. Oh, nice. Good. And, just, with the whatever messages you got about the healing that needs to happen or who you need to do the healing with, now it's our turn to do our part, right? So whether that's forgiveness, whether that's cord cutting, whatever has to be. Pragati says, wow, the room is full of gold and treasure troves, full of gold chains. I got gold to leave I got told to leave my husband and his family in peace. Thank them for the learnings. My goddess Melodima told me I need to get ready to channel her. Oh, nice.
Wow.
Shilpa says, I had lots of tears and yawning a lot. I had a pain on left side of my head and I saw Ganesh. Beautiful. Anne says, I felt connected to peace and simple resting in communion with myself. Oh, that's lovely. I like that. Good. Sunita says, I feel the heat, golden. I saw a rabbit and my right ear was painful and dirty, but was transformed in gold. Maybe negative speaking from other people. Maybe, but it's like, as long as it's transformed, it's awesome. Good. And of course, you can do this process again by watching or listening to the replay. And drink water, absolutely right, because it was an energetic process. So drink some water, get some fresh air, walk around, like I always say. And of course, if you'd like to work with Roshney as well, please do take a look at the packages again, A, B, and C. They're really, what's the right word? They're really feasible. trying to think of a nice word. Really feasible, really easily affordable. So please do take advantage of that and working with Roshney so that you can heal your relationships. You can clear what may be blocking you moving forward. And it's not just about relationships. Like if you want to work with Roshney about something else, you can. It's not just about working with relationships, right? Roshney?
Yeah, absolutely. It could be anything at all.
Yeah, exactly. So again, please do take a look at the packages and see which package resonates with you. And I would highly recommend working with Roshney to start you moving forward. Devrani says, I have a few relationships that I need to heal. The message that I received is to start with a family member first. When I asked how, the answer that came is to call her. She may want to heal this relationship too. Oh, nice. Good.
Very good.
No expectation, right? So whenever it comes to healing, there's no expectation about the other person. Remember, the healing that you're doing is truly for yourself, okay? It's for you, mostly. Awesome. Any last words of wisdom for us, Roshney?
I had something written down here, actually. Yeah. So, I'd say 98% of the problems sometimes people come with me is based around relationships. So, just know that you're not on your own and, it's there for a reason. Yeah. Basically, they're there to heal something really big. Okay. Even though it's a little situation, it is something big. And if you look at it that way, you'll then sort of like look forward to it and say, oh, okay, because I'm going to be healing this. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to be healing it. Yeah. So just observe, accept, surrender, trust, and, and be happy about it. Because when you get sad, then it just, brings on that wrong energy. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I read something recently. It's like somebody said, triggers, bring it, because the more triggers that come to me that I can work on to clear, the greater it is for my soul's growth and expansion, right? So if you look at triggers, if you look at wounds, if you look at anything like that, as like when you heal it, it's like there's more expansion for you, more light, more growth for you. And that's how I always like to look at it now too. It's like, yeah, bring it, whatever it is. bring it. Let's clear this. Let's heal this. Let's move forward on our path, on our journey, on our ascension, etc. Right? So it's not a bad thing. So that's what I guess. It's not negative. It's not bad, especially once you heal it and clear it and work with it. Right? So it's a gift. It's a blessing that you know. I know it's hard to say that. It's like, how can this be a blessing? But it's a blessing for you because it's giving you something to clear, something to be aware of, something to look at, love, etc. And change in your life. So awesome.
Absolutely.
I think I'm going to get a session with Roshney. Why not? Pressure. Roshney's like, oh my God.
He's like, oh my God.
I still have stuff.
I know. They say healers need healers, right?
Exactly. We can't always do the stuff on our own, right?
No, we cannot. We continuously have to keep doing the work, and it's good though. But I used to get annoyed and say, "Oh my God, I still have to clear that. I still have to do this. Why is this happening to me?" But now I'm in the moment, and I'm like, okay, thank you for showing me. All right, and this too shall pass. I just keep saying this is temporary. This is temporary,
that's my main mantra. This too shall pass. Manisha says, thank you, Laura. Thank you, Roshney, for today's amazing call. My mom came forward in the process. I received a wonderful message from my late mom after my guidance from Roshney. Awesome. Good. And Brigitte said, I've had a session with Roshney and she's amazing. Oh, I'm sure she is. Definitely.
Thank you, Brigitte.
Awesome. All right. So thank you so much, everybody, for all your questions. I think we got everybody. We might have missed some, but thank you for all your questions. And thank you, Roshney. This was wonderful. It was absolutely brilliant, as the British like to say, brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. We'll definitely have to have you come back on again for sure.
Definitely.
And so tomorrow we will be back, same time, same place. All right. So 3 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. UK, etc. Fabulous is what we also like to say. Fabulous, right? Yes. Brilliant and fabulous.
Yes, that's what we love.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. And thank you so much, everyone. Again, wonderful show. Please go back and watch and listen to the replay. It'll be out shortly. Michelle says, I have had a session with Roshney too, and she is so amazing. Really recommend her. Good. Wonderful. Awesome. So the replay will be out in about 2 hours. Okay. So stay tuned for that and go back and watch again. So much wisdom, so many processes as well, little processes. And if you haven't gotten the free gift from Roshney, please do get that as well and start working with that. Okay. So thank you so much, everyone. And again, until next time, may you continue to be blessed with an abundance of joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, and radiant health. Sending you all so much love and blessings always. You're so welcome, Roshney. Thank you. It was brilliant. It was fabulous.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.